All right, Shalom, brothers and sisters. Once again, I am your host, Shabar Judah Israel, coming to you guys with another awesome lesson. And the topic of discussion concerning this lesson is, picture speaks 1,000 words. It's right before you, man. I don't even have to give it a name because it's right before you. And I want to talk about this book. It's called 23 Minutes in Hell by Bill Weiss. It says one man's story about what he saw, heard, and felt in the place of torment. So he claims, this guy by the name of Bill Weiss, he claims that, he fell asleep one night in his bed and he had a dream about him being in hell for 23 minutes. And when he awoke from the dream, he tries his best to convince the world that hell is really a place, a real place of suffering and everlasting torment, right? So he claims that, he drifted off, went into a dream, and God showed him this vision about hell being real. All right, let me show you this guy, Bill Weiss. So this is the guy, Bill Weiss. He's an author. Bill Weiss has been a dedicated Christian. See, that's the point. So this man off top is a Christian. We are the Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelites. Blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are God's chosen people. So there's a problem with this man's doctrine in the books he writes. Why? Because he's been a dedicated Christian and have served in various capacities, including teaching and leading worship since 1970. More like teaching and leading lies. He is an accomplished speaker, appearing on 400 radio interviews in the Christian and mainstream markets. He is a successful realtor because he's a real estate agent, and it says with over 40 years of experience. So he's a realtor, and I guess he's a accomplished speaker, and he has been on 400 radio interviews. Yeah, 400 radio interviews telling lies, spreading lies in the seat. Because he claims that in his book, 23 Minutes of Hell, that's a actual place of suffering. So his name should have been Bill Wizard, seducing the people and lying to the people. But guys, I'm going to show you in scripture that heaven and hell are conditions that's played out on the earth. There's no such thing as 23 minutes in hell. These are his books. And guess what, guys? Before I came into the faith as a Hebrew Israelite, I had all of this guy books. You know what I'm saying? I was highly a fan of this guy. So I can tell you about this guy's book because I had all of them. I had the 23 Minutes in Hell. I had 23 Questions in Hell. That came with that was included with a DVD. I also had down here, you see the black booklet. It says Bill Weiss Hell, the black booklet. And it says that right here, which was 2008. The black booklet was 2008. The 23 Questions in Hell with the DVD, that was 2010. And then the 23 Minutes in Hell was 2006. So he wants to assert that hell is a actual place of suffering and everlasting torment. So is that correct, guys? Absolutely not. So what I did, I trashed the books. I trashed the 23 Minutes in Hell. I trashed the 23 Questions in Hell. I also trashed this little black booklet. Okay, and then he says, what happened when we die? What happens when we die? That's a damn lie. That book right there, that came out 2013, and many other books that he has established. I trashed all of them. I burnt all of them. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, guys, when we go back, it says that Bill Weiss has been a dedicated Christian. So guess what? Christianity That's anti-Torah. See, Christianity teaches you to break. The Christianity teaches you to break the laws of the Most High. So Christianity is nothing but anti-Torah. It goes against the Torah. When the Torah tells you to keep the law, Christianity tells you that you're saved by grace and faith. You see, so that's like, man, and Christianity is nothing but a form of spiritual white supremacy as well that was enforced on the slaves, blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans. So let me close this video out by giving you the proper correction, man, on hell. Because it's heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Okay, so now we're going into the Bible to show you this. So I got my Bible with me, guys, and I'm going into the Bible to show you that Bill Weiss is nothing but a damn liar, man. He's the devil. The white man is the devil, man. All right? And the word devil means the slanderer, someone who deceives. And this guy, with his 400 radio interviews in Christian mainstream markets, this guy has deceived a lot of you blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, and getting you to believe a place called hell is waiting on you after you die. You see? So you got to really stay alert, man. So this is, first and foremost, I want to go into Deuteronomy because I want to show you guys something in Deuteronomy. And then let's just go ahead and grab Deuteronomy, speaking about treading upon the high places. Let's go ahead and grab, let's see. Deuteronomy 33 and 29. It says, happy art thou, O Israel. Who are the Israelites? Blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee. So who is like the Israelites? Who can compare to the Israelites? Who can compare to the blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans? No one. Especially not your neighborhood friendly white man, which is the devil the Bible speaks of. Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee. O people saved by the Lord, the shield and thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thy enemies shall be found liars. Like this devil right here, man. Thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Yeah, man, that's twofold, because we treading upon your high places. We treading upon all this spiritual deceit, these lies that the so-called white man puts out. We treading upon that, and also we gonna physically, literally tread upon your kingdom, because the kingdom of the Israelites is at hand. You see, so our enemies shall be found liars. This is Deuteronomy 33:29. Our enemies, and the white man is our enemy. You know what I'm saying? So watch this. I'm gonna show you something else, guys. Let's go to Isaiah 32 and 7. So our enemies shall be found liars, like this liar here, be a wizard. So let's go to Isaiah 32 and 7. Isaiah 32 and 7. And guys, I want you guys to see it so you won't think that I'm just making this up. Wait a minute. So I'm in Blue Letter Bible, King James. I just want you guys to see it, man. I really want you guys to see it. I don't like quoting scriptures without proof. 33:29. I want you guys to see it. See, it says, happy art thou, O Israel, Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans. Who is like unto thee? Who is like unto us? No one. No other nation on this face of this planet. O people saved by the Lord, salvation is for the Israelites. The shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency? The sword of our excellency is Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, man. And thy enemies, which are the heathen, the so-called white man, Bill Weiss, Bill Wizard, thy enemies shall be found liars. His lying in his books, lying in these books, 23 Minutes in Hell, 23 Questions About Hell, and these other false philosophies and vain deceit he's putting out, lying on these radio shows and these talk shows, lying. Thy enemy shall be found liars into thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Now, I showed you that one. I just wanted to show you guys so you can see for yourselves. Let's go to Isaiah 32 and 7. Check this out. Isaiah 32 and 7. Isaiah 32 and 7. Look what it says, guys. It says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. So you got these devils out here, man. This is Isaiah 32 and 7. You got these devils out here that's plotting against the children of Israel, man. Isaiah 32 and 7, guys. The instrument also of the churl. Now, what does that mean, churl? That means like a very mischievous person. The instruments of the churl are evil, man. These false philosophies, these books of misinformation they put out. He devised wicked devices like Bill Wizard. He devises wicked devices like 23, this book about 23 Minutes in Hell, another book about 23 Questions in Hell, another book about hell. That's the so-called white man, which is the wicked. He devised wicked devices. You know what I'm saying? Misinformation. Books that you go and buy in the store to destroy the poor. Who is the poor? The Israelites. We the poor. With lying words. See? The white man is the devil, man. Destroying us with lying words. Even when the needy speak it right. You see that? That's Isaiah 32 and 7. So, let's get back to Bill Wizard. So, we are back to Bill Wizard. You see? Now, watch this. He claims that, let's look into his books. He claims that he fell asleep, had a dream about him being in hell for 23 minutes. Right? Well, I'm going to show you that the white man, you got more than 23 minutes in terms of hell that's coming to y'all. You got more than 23 minutes. Let me tell you, Edomite son, you so-called white people, and the rest of you heathens, you Africans, Arabs, Japanese, Chinese, East Indians, you going to have more than 23 minutes in hell. You going to have 400, let's say, well, to be exact, you're going to have 1,000. You're going to have 1,000 years in hell, man. 1,000 years in hell. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have 1,000 years in hell. So, Bill Weeds, your 23 minutes in hell, you think you don't experience something. You're going to have 1,000 years in hell. I'm going to show you this in the Bible. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Heaven and hell are not mythological places. Heaven and hell is not waiting on you after you die. Heaven and hell is conditions played out on the planet earth as we live right now, as we exist right now. So, it ain't no 23 minutes in hell. And what you had was all according to your subconscious mind, because whatever you visualize, it goes to the subconscious mind. And when you lie down and go to sleep, sometime it plays out. And that's what you experience. So he probably just been watching a lot of sci-fi nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And it has been in his subconscious mind. He fell asleep and had a dream about him being in this sci-fi nonsense. Now let me show you the real deal according to the Bible. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the planet Earth, man. They're not waiting on you after you die. They are conditions played out on the planet Earth. See, one thing about Christianity, because it tells you that this man is a dedicated Christian. And one thing about Christianity teaches and it promotes that hell is waiting on you after you die. It doesn't teach you that hell is present with you while you exist. It doesn't teach you that heaven is present with you while you exist. Christianity does not teach you that heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Christianity teaches you that heaven and hell is waiting on you after you die. You see that? Now watch this. I'm going to show you that heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. And I'm also going to show you that these white folks going to go into slavery for 1,000 years. They're going to be more than 23 minutes. Okay, so blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, we need to get it together, man. Now watch this. This is Revelation 5 and 10. Revelations chapter 5 verse 10. Heaven and hell are conditions on the earth. Place. Watch this. Revelation 5 and 10. And has made us, that's talking about the Israelites, us, into our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. This is when the Israelite nation is fully restored. We will reign on the earth, man. You see that? Revelation 5 and 10 says that the Israelites, when the kingdom is fully restored, he has made us into our gods, kings, and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Let me show you something else. Matthew 6 and 10. I'm giving you guys the literal proof coming directly from the Bible. Matthew 6 and 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So the kingdom is coming to the earth, man. Thy kingdom come. It says thy kingdom come. The Most High, will be done in the earth. We will carry out the Most High's will on the earth, not in some imaginary place. The kingdom of heaven is a condition of rulership that's played out on the earth. Let me show you. Deuteronomy 11 and 21. Because Bill Wizard is going to keep lying to you. Deuteronomy 11 and 21. That your days may be multiplied. He's talking to the Israelites. That your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth. See, heaven is upon the earth. But it's just not heaven for the Israelites right now. The blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, we broke the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we received curses. So we've been going through curses. Curses have been placed on us. This is why we are not living within the condition of that being in that heavenly state. The white man, this is his kingdom. The white man subdued us, set his kingdom up on the earth, and been living in his glorious kingdom because of our rejection of the laws. You see, back then, Moses was telling the Israelites in Deuteronomy 11:21, your days may be multiplied. Basically, do what's right, that your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, and the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, because that's the land of Canaan, which became the promised land, the holy land, the land of Israel. But that land was taken from us. The Most High rooted us out that land, and heathens moved in and settled in that land. And we got dispersed throughout several captivities. So you can see back in the day, during the time of Moses, he said, our Lord, which is the Most High, swore unto our fathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth, that land. So heaven and hell are conditions on the earth. Another one is Lamentations 2 and 1. Know what the hell Bill Wizard talking about? Lamentations 2 and 1. How had the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger? This is after we broke the commandments, because God wanted us to be faithful to his commandments. And the Israelite broke the commandments, so he covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger. He cast down from heaven into the earth. He took us out of that condition of rulership. He took us out of that condition of power. And he cast us down to being peasants, to being slaves. You know what I'm saying? So he cast us down from heaven into the earth. What it means to be cast down from heaven into the earth? That means to fall from top to bottom. That means to come from the front of the line to the back. That means to be the tail and not the head. That means to lose your kingdom, to lose your dominion, to lose your dynasty, to lose your empire. So he cast down the Israelites. He took our kingdom away. He took our rulership away, and he gave it to the heathens. He cast down from heaven into the earth the beauty of Israel. You see, the beauty of Israel was kingship, queenship. That was the beauty of Israel. Kings and queens. We had prince and princesses. That was the root of Israel. And remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. So the Most High took us from a heavily condition which was ruling in the earth to being slaves in the earth. And this is why exactly you blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans are slaves to this very day for breaking the commandments. So it looks like heaven and hell are conditions on the earth and not some imaginary place. There is no place under the earth. Don't let Bill Wizard tell you these lies. There's no place under the earth. All right. So let's go to Leviticus 26 and 19. Leviticus 26 and 19. And I will break the pride of your power. The Most I was telling the Israelites for breaking his commandments, this was going to happen to him. He says, I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass. Letting the Israelites know for breaking his commandments that he was going to take away our kingship, queenship, and we was going to become peasants. We was going to become peons and slaves. You can see right there, man. Isaiah 14:12 is all over the Bible. Isaiah 14:12. Isaiah 14:12. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground which did weaken the nations? Now, when you look at Lucifer in the Hebrew, it's Hallel, which means morning star, or it means light barrier, holders of the light. Now, who is considered the holders of the light? The international banking families that's known as the Illuminati, the enlightened ones. So that goes back to the white man. That's talking about how the elites are ruling the world. But they will fall from heaven. Now, even though Isaiah 14:12 said, how art thou fallen from heaven, you'll think this already happened. But you got to keep in mind, Isaiah the 14th chapter is futuristic prophecy. Isaiah the 14th chapter is prophecy that has not came to pass yet. So Isaiah is speaking, how art thou fallen from heaven? He saw this in a vision, but this vision has not been brought into manifestation yet, but it will happen. So Isaiah, when he prophesied this, when he recorded this, he saw a vision of the so-called white man falling from his rulership. He saw a vision how these banking families, the elites, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, all these royal elite families, Isaiah saw a vision of them coming down. The Most High was stripping them down from their power. And he saw a vision how the Israelites was gaining, how the Israelites' kingdom was restored to them. So that's what that means. How art thou fallen from heaven? To fall from heaven is just to fall from a rulership, or to fall from heaven is to fall from, a position of power. When you got a kingdom on the earth, like you got a dynasty or something, you got an empire on the earth, and then the Most High just take that from you. You know what I'm saying? He caused something to happen to your empire, and your empire totally collapse. That's what's gonna happen to the white man. He will fall from heaven. And it says, how hast thou weakened the nations? Because the so-called white man has weakened us with these lies, philosophies, and deceit. Deuteronomy 28:23. Deuteronomy 28:23. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Deuteronomy 28:23. It says, and thy heaven is over thy head, and thy heaven that is over thy head, Moses talking to the Israelites for breaking the commandments, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. You see, he was gonna make our troubles heavy, our burdens heavy, and last but not least, he was gonna cast us down from that rulership, man, when we was kings and queens. You see right there, man. So heaven and hell is conditions played out on the earth. So how blacks and Hispanics, how we are supposed to get from under this condition? Because we know that we was brought into bondage for the violation of God's commands. Let me give you Isaiah 5:13. Be sure to write down these verses. Isaiah 5:13. All right. Isaiah 5:13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. The blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans. We have went into captivity. Why? Because they, the Israelites, they have no knowledge. The knowledge was the law, statutes, and commandments that we supposed to keep. They have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famous, and their multitude dried up with thirst. See, so the Most High's people, which are the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, you went into slavery under the hands of the white man. And all the other nations that are not Israelites, you have become a slave to the heathens because we have no knowledge. We didn't keep the commandments. Isaiah 5 and 14. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself. So what is hell? Isaiah 5 and 13. Let's go back. Isaiah 5 and 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. Now let's go down to Isaiah 5:14. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself. Let's go back up to Isaiah 5 and 13. Therefore, my people are gone in captivity. Let's skip down to Isaiah 5 and 14. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself. So what is captivity? Hell. And what is hell? Captivity. So hell is a condition on the earth that's played out. In other words, hell is known as captivity. Hell is known as captivity. To be in an unfavorable condition with the Most High God, that's hell. You see? Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. That's Isaiah 5 and 13. It says, therefore, my people are gone in captivity. Isaiah 5 and 14 says, therefore, hell have enlarged herself. So we can clearly see right there, if you pair Isaiah 5 and 13 and Isaiah 5 and 14 together, it's telling you literally that captivity, servitude, slavery is a condition that is addressed to be hell. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. And the glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiced shall descend in it. Because it's talking about the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? The same one that got pride, the same one that, you know, subdued us, overpowered us for breaking the commandments. God allowed the white man to overpower us for breaking the commandments and the rest of these heathens. But the same one that rejoiced, because we slaves, they want to mock and they want to scoff and they want to make fun of the Israelites because we slaves. Say, he that rejoices shall descend in it, because it's coming back on him. Because slavery gonna happen to these heathens. That's why I was telling you, Bill Wizard, want to talk about him being 23 minutes in hell. Well, let me tell you something, man. You're gonna be 1,000 years in hell, all you heathens. And I'm gonna show you that before I close the video out. You see. Now let's go to the book of Jonah, man. Typing in the belly of hell. This is what Jonah said. Listen up, guys. This is Jonah 2 and 2. Now, I want to go, let's look at Jonah 2 and 1. We know the story of Jonah. Jonah was a Hebrew Israelite that was given a task by the Most High God to go and tell those scattered Israelites in the city of Nineveh to repent. But Jonah didn't want to do that. So what happened? Jonah boarded the ship and he hid it below deck. You know what I'm saying? And then all kind of hell broke loose because Jonah was really just rebelling on the Most High's. The Most High gave Jonah a mission to fulfill, and Jonah didn't want to preach the word of the Most High. So the Most High calls Jonah. You know, Jonah was trying to go to Tarshish, which is Spain, on a ship. You know what I'm saying? The Most High caused a great fish to swallow him up. Y'all know the story. You can read the story on your free time. I'm just cutting to the chase. Jonah 2 and 1. Then Jonah prayed Jonah prayed unto the Lord, his God, because Jonah was a Hebrew Israelite, and God is the God of the Hebrew Israelites. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord, his God, out of the fish belly. Now watch this. Jonah 2 and 2. And he said, I cried by reason of my affliction and to the Lord, and he heard me. Okay, so he said, what was his reason he was crying? He was afflicted, man. The very reason why Jonah was weeping and wailing and screaming in that whale's belly, in that fish belly, because it says by the reason of my affliction, he was afflicted. The man was in the whale's belly 3 days and 3 nights with no food or water. So he cried by the reason of his affliction. He was being afflicted. I told you to be in an unfavorable condition with God is to be in hell, man. I'm going to show you. And Jonah said, by the reason of my affliction unto the Lord, he heard me. You see? Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heard my voice. So think about this. That means that Bill Wizard is a liar. Bill Wizard is a liar. Because in his book, he claims that hell is a place with billows of smoke, suffering, brimstone. He claims that hell is an unknown place where it's thousands, numerous of souls is there just in excruciating pain, screaming and hollering and just in agony. That's what Bill Wizard, that's what he teaches. That's what his books promotes. Have you to think that hell is a place mythological, an unseen dimension where you go if you are a sinner, where you go if you have not been righteous. He got you to believe that's where you go when you die. But no, heaven and hell are conditions on the earth. Jonah said, out of the belly of hell I cried. This was not after Jonah died. This was why Jonah was existing. This is why Jonah was living. Jonah said, out of the belly of hell I cried, and you heard my voice. Because guess what? Jonah was in captivity. You see what I'm saying? So Jonah was in captivity. Captivity is hell. Did we not show you that in Isaiah 5 and 13? Isaiah 5 and 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. And then it leads on to Isaiah 5 and 14. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself. So hell is captivity. And if you tell me that's wrong, then Jonah said out of the belly of hell he cried when he was swallowed up by a big fish and he was in the fish belly 3 days and 3 nights. So if Jonah was inside of a fish 3 days and 3 nights, that means those 3 days and 3 nights he was inside of that fish. That means he was in captivity. Captivity is hell. That's why Jonah said, out of the belly of hell I cry. Out of the belly of captivity. Captivity is hell. Slavery, servitude, that's hell. Okay? And I said to be in an unfavorable condition with the Most High is hell. You see? Matthew 10 and 28. So Bill Wizard is a damn liar. Matthew 10 and 28. Let me show you this. Showing you all the book, chapter, and verses in the Bible. Matthew 10, 28. Fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Who is able to put you to death? The heathen. The white man, he can put you to death. If you are a firm believer, you standing firm in your faith, did not the white man put all the disciples to death in the Bible? The white Romans crucified the black Messiah. You had white Roman emperors that killed many of the Christ disciples, which were black men. You had a lot of Hebrew Israelites, a lot of Jews that fell by the hands of the white man in the Bible for keeping their faith in the Most High, in Christ. You see, but Matthew 10 and 28 says, fear not them which kill the body. Because they want to torment you. They want to make you, they want to make you recant on your faith. You know, they want to make you to denounce your faith. But fear not them which is able to kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. You see, because they can't do nothing to your soul. The soul is infinite power. The soul can never be destroyed. It's infinite energy. So don't fear them that's able to kill the body. That's really talking about the white man. Don't fear them that's able to kill the body, but not able to touch the soul. But rather fear him. Who is that? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, the Most High, and who you call Jesus Christ. Fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And I'm going to tell you as examples of that, you don't go into the earth and burn. You experience that burn in your existence, in your lifetime. You see, so what you call the flames of hell, that's an allegory. What you call the flames of hell, that's figurative. The flames of hell can be when you are destroyed in this existence. In terms of diabetes, high blood pressure, AIDS, abortion, cancer. You know what I'm saying? Those are allegorical flames while you exist. And it also says, fear him and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. It says, but fear him. That's the higher power. That's the Most High in Christ, which is able to destroy both soul, body, and hell. Now, how your soul is destroyed while you're here on the earth? What are perfect examples how your soul is destroyed when you're here on the earth? Your soul is destroyed when you have lack of knowledge who you are. You don't know you're a Hebrew Israelite. You don't know you the people of the book. You don't know your God. You don't know your Savior. You following after all these religions. You following after all this falsehood and deceit. You falling out all the ways of America. Basically, you trapped in the matrix. You don't know what's going on. You don't have no knowledge, no over, inner, or understanding. Those are prime examples how your soul is destroyed in its existence. You drug dealers, you're a drug dealer, you're a prostitute. You know you have no order, no knowledge of self or understanding. You know what I'm saying? That is a perfect example of being destroyed in its existence. It's all allegorical. You see? Deuteronomy 32 and 22. Deuteronomy 32 and 22. Watch this. It's allegorical. It's not literal. So to burn in the flames of hell is to be under the Most High's wrath, to be under the Most High's judgment. Deuteronomy 32, 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. So the Most High is telling Moses that, you know, he became so upset. He became so angry with the Israelites for breaking his commandments. He became so angry with them. It's like his fire he became so angry with the Israelites. His anger was counted as a fire that was being kindled upon them. You see? That's what it's talking about, guys. Which shall burn to the lowest hell. What's the lowest hell? Prime examples of the lowest hell. That's the fierce anger of the Most High that would be placed on the Israelites, and they would be placed in the worst conditions for breaking his law, statutes, and commandments. The lowest hell is like being cursed, placed at the bottom, placed in slavery, under the hands of all nations, which are the heathens, to be in captivity, man. You know, to be in affliction and pain. The lowest hell is likened to AIDS. The lowest hell is incarceration of the blacks, Hispanics in the prison systems. The lowest hell is like abortions. The lowest hell is crime on the earth among our people. The lowest hell is diabetes. The lowest hell is STDs. The lowest hell is poverty. The lowest hell is drugs. The lowest hell is lack of education. The lowest hell is high blood pressure. The lowest hell is being oppressed generally, oppressed by the heathens. Let me show you something. Job 42 and 10. This is Job 42 verse 10. Heaven and hell are conditions on the earth. Don't let this goddamn devil deceive you, Bill Wizard. Job 42 and 10. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job. Now you see, Job was going through all that hell. You remember when Job was praying to die because he was stricken with boils and sores from the crown of his head to the soles of his foot? You remember when Job's children died? You know, Job was going through distress, time of distress. Job was down and out. Job was going through hell in his life. Job 42 and 10. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. So all these hellish prime examples that Job was going through, losing his children, being stricken with boils and sores, you know, his wife telling him to curse God and die. Job lost everything. In reference to that, Job was going through captivity. But what happened after Job was relieved from that? It said the Lord turned the captivity of Job. That means that he blessed Job with more kids than he had before, even though his children died. He blessed Job with more cattle, more livestock. He blessed Job with a better lifestyle, man. You know what I'm saying? Job got cured. He got cured from those boils and sores and sickness. The Lord turned the captivity of Job. So what I'm telling you is captivity is likened into hell. To be in hell is to be in captivity. To be in captivity is to be in hell. To be in an unfavorable condition with God is to be in hell. To break God's laws, statutes, and commandments and his anger to come upon you, that's likened it to be in hell. Those are allegorical flames. You see what I'm saying, guys? This is what I'm talking about. So Bill Wizard, he's a goddamn lie. He's the devil, man. The white man is the devil. Now let me show you something if you still don't believe me. Watch this. Watch this. Jacob for a spar. Watch this. Isaiah 42 and 24. Who gave Jacob for spoil? That's the Most High that gave the Israelites in the hands of their enemies for breaking the commandments. Jacob is the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Who gave the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for spoil? Jacob. And Israel to the robbers. The robbers are the heathens. The robbers are non-Israelite nations, like the white man, which are the Edomites, the Chinese, which are the Moabites, the Japanese, which are the Ammonites, the Africans, which are the Hamites. Who gave the Israelites, the Jews, into their hands? Who gave them into the hands of the robbers? Did not the Lord? He against whom we sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law. So we pissed the Most High off. I told you to be in an unfavorable condition with God is to be in hell. And what is the unfavorable condition? Slavery, servitude. That is an allegorical statement likening to the flames of hell. And I'm going to show you. You continue to read on Isaiah 42:24. You continue to read on to Isaiah 42 to 25th verse. Therefore, he had poured upon him the fury of his anger. The Most High poured upon Israel the fury of his anger and the strength of battle. And it says, and it had set him on fire. So did the Most High literally set the Israelites on fire? Did he pour gasoline on us and flame us up? Did he pour gasoline on us and blaze us up? Did the Most High get a gigantic Did the Most High get a gigantic flamethrower and flamed us up? No, he set him on fire. That's an allegorical statement saying how he set the Israelites on fire. By putting curses on us. To be in an unfavorable condition with God is to be in the flames of hell. To be as a slave, to live your life as a slave, to live your life under the heathen as a slave, to be oppressed, to be stricken, to be afflicted. The Most High put these curses on Israel. And when he put these curses on Israel, he set him on fire round and about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, see? Yet he laid it not to heart. Deuteronomy 28:15. I'm showing you everything in the Bible. I'm showing you the complete guideline. I'm showing you the complete guideline, guys, that heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, he's telling the Israelites to listen, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee. He commanded the Israelites. He says, if you will not listen to my commandments, he says, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Deuteronomy 28:15. Now, what was all the curses coming upon Israel and overtaking them? The Most High's anger, man. Isaiah 42:25. Therefore, he had poured upon him the fury of his anger. That's when he put the curses on Israel and he in the strength of battle, and it had set him on fire. You see, so the curses is like the flames of fire, but they allegorical. All these curses that we're going through, AIDS, incarceration, abortion, crime on the earth, diabetes, poverty, drugs, lack of education, high blood pressure, being oppressed by the heathen. All these are prime examples of allegorical flames, figurative flames that's burning us. Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you have been figuratively burnt. You have been figuratively allegorical burnt. You've been in the worst conditions. The worst conditions is the lowest hell. You see that, guys? So don't play with me, be a wizard. You the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. You Edomites, you white people. You lying to us, man. I done showed you so many verses in the Bible. Going back to Deuteronomy 32 and 22. That's the lowest hell. The lowest hell is the worst conditions of the Israelites being cursed and placed at the bottom in slavery under the heathens. All right? You see? This is what we're telling you, man. The lowest hell that happens on the earth. Hell is a condition of being not in the Lord's favor. So when you're not in the Lord's favor, you in hell. You know what I'm saying? The Most High was upset with Israel. His anger fell upon Israel. When his anger fell upon Israel, hell fell upon Israel. You see, Israel wanted to reject or following the Lord's statutes and commandments. So when the anger of the Lord fell upon us, that is an allegorical statement of us being in hell. So brothers and sisters, You don't burn under the earth. You don't burn under the earth. You will burn in the anger of the Most High if you don't keep these commandments in terms of being cursed. It's not literal fire. It's just figuratively flames. It's a figurative statement for you being under God's anger. That means that you are burning. You see what I'm saying? So you don't die and then go to hell and burn. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. You see? Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. I'm giving you the whole catalog. I'm not withholding any book, chapter, verse. You're going to get this by the end of this lesson so you can see that Bill Wizard is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, man. Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. Watch this. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. So your judgment, when God begins to judge you, all this take place under the sun. That wickedness was there in the place of righteousness. So basically, under the sun, you have wicked people here and you have righteous people here. This is where the judgment take place. The Most High will judge you. After you die, the Most High judges you for what you did here on the earth. And if you don't meet up to his standards, guess what? You get sent back on the earth in terms of reincarnation to serve your judgment on the earth, under the sun. The only place under the sun is planet earth, man. That wickedness was there and the place of righteousness was there. That iniquity was there. You see? Ecclesiastes 3 and 17. I said in my heart that God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work, so that God will judge the righteousness and the wicked. Whether you righteous or whether you wicked as hell, you're going to be judged by God. But where is the judgment? Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. So everyone is playing their judgment out. Why? Because like I told you earlier, heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. The white man is not going to tell you this. Christianity can't teach you this. Or any other wicked ass religion can't teach you this. You guys, you got to get with the Hebrew Israelites. You got to get with the elders, the Hebrew Israelite elders to learn this stuff. So whether we receive judgment, whether the Most High decides, whether we receive the condition of the kingdom of heaven, whether we conceive the condition of hell, it's all played out on the earth. Whether we receive judgment, whether we receive the Most High, whether the Most High decides, whether we receive the condition of the kingdom of heaven, or whether we conceive the condition of hell, it's all played out on the earth. Because righteousness and wickedness was both played out. Where? On the earth. Righteousness and wickedness is both played out on the earth, not some mythological place. You see, and I can just keep going on, guys. I can just keep going on and going on. It's all over the Bible, man. I would probably have to come back and make a part 2. This is a long lesson. It's all over the Bible. Heaven and hell are conditions in the earth. You can even go into the Apocrypha, guys. This is why the Roman Catholic Protestants protested against the Apocrypha to take it out the Bible. Because all the Bibles had the Apocrypha in it up into the 1800s. Why did the Roman Catholics being the white people, wicked devils, why did they remove the Apocryphal books from the Bible? Because the Apocryphal books tell you that heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. The Apocrypha. Let the so-called white man tell it.
Apocrypha.
Turn that up, guys.
Apocrypha.
Biblical or related writings not forming part of the accepted canon of scripture. So they basically believe that the apocryphal books is not accepted and they don't line up with scripture. That's what the white man believes. That's why he took it out the Bible, being the devil he is. But we're going to go into these books regardless. So the apocryphal books, guys, let me show you how they look. It's just a red book. See, the Apocrypha, the authorized King James Version, they was part of the King James 1611 edition, but it was taken out from the Catholic Protestants, the devils, white people. Now, I'm going to go into the Apocryphal book. I'm just going to go into one of the Apocryphal books to show you that heaven and hell They are truly conditions played out on the earth. And in fact, you remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three Hebrew boys that was thrown into the fiery furnace because they didn't heed to the commandments of the king, right? You guys remember that, dealing with Daniel? You know what I'm saying? Then the book of Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar at that time being the king of Babylon, he wrote a decree and sent it out throughout the land that all the people, all the people should basically subscribe to his order. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you had Hebrews that kicked against that. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we know the story. They end up being put in the fiery furnace because they rejected the king's order. Now, when they was in that fiery furnace, I'm going to show you guys in the apocryphal books, when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was in that fiery furnace, I'm going to show you what did they say. This is exactly why I told you the white man, these Catholic Protestants, the Protestant Reformation, this is why they protested to have these books removed from the Bible. You see, and so today you will have Protestant Bibles or you will have Anglican Bibles because they try to keep this information from you, dealing with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. So now we're about to go into the book of, let's see, we're going into, I believe this is in the book of, wait a minute, guys. I'm trying to gather my information up. This is in the book of the Song of the Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha. So, Song of the Three Holy Children. This is in the Apocrypha. I'm going to show you, and it tells you that hell is being played. It's a condition that's being played on the earth. Song of the Three Holy Children. Watch this. The prayer of Azariah and the song of the three holy children. The three holy children was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that was in the fiery furnace, man. Now, the prayer of Azariah. Now, I'm gonna show you. Let's get the Apocrypha. This is the last book, chapter, and verse, guys, and I'm gone. Let's get the Apocrypha. Read online. Apocrypha read online. Okay. Apocrypha read online. Let's see. Thank you for your time, guys. Apocrypha read online. All right. This is the Apocrypha. Here we go. And it says search. No, okay. I want to go to the Song of the Three Holy Children. Okay. Let's see. For a second, Ezra told, let's see, Song of Three Holy Children. Prayer of Azariah. That's the prayer of Azariah is also known as the Song of the Three Holy Children. All right, now we're going into chapter 1, verse 66. Now watch this. So we're going into verse 66. Azariah 1 and 66. See, because they tell you like, and they walked in the midst of the fire. So they was in the fire, the three holy children, the Hebrew boys, that Nebuchadnezzar ordered them to go in that hot furnace. And they was praising God and blessing the Lord. Okay. Now watch this. Man, I wish I can just, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how to work this, man. Okay. 1 and 66. Hopefully it'll pull it up. Guys, I don't have no idea how to work this. So, please, if you have an Apocrypha, go to the Song of the Three Holy Children, also known as the prayer of Azariah, and it would tell you in chapter 1, verse 66 through 68, that the Most High delivered them from hell. It'll tell you that because I wanted to bring it out, man. I don't know how to work this right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to work it, guys. I wish I 1, 2, 166. I'm just gonna keep on tapping until I get to the man. Shoot, man. I know that's going to be a lot of tapping, guys. That'll be a lot of tapping. I'm in Azariah. But yeah, guys, I wanted to show you. It's nothing like showing you guys. But go to the Song of the Three Holy Children, also known as the Prayer of Azariah, and go to chapter 1, verse 66, and read through 66 to the 68th verse. And then to tell you that those three holy children that was in the fiery furnace, it'll tell you that God delivered them from hell. So you see, that was on earth, and hell is the condition. Heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. So without furthermore, guys, that's pretty much for this lesson, man. Yeah, just share the video, guys. But like I said, man, Bill Weeze, he's a goddamn devil, man. Bill Wizard. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Okay? So, guys, I hope I gave you enough of book, chapter, and verses concerning heaven and hell are conditions on the earth, not some imaginary places. There's no place under the earth. You don't have to worry about that when you die. There's no place under the earth. That's Roman Catholic dogma that was taught to scare people so they would become slaves, better slaves to the Roman power, to the Roman Empire of that day. So there's no place under the earth, man, when you die. Basically, when you die, you go to the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? When you die, you go to the spirit world, guys. You can read about this in Job, because Job also dropped a lot of jewels to tell you, you know what I'm saying? Job 3 and 13, you can look at Job 3 and 13. Job said, why did he not die from the womb? He said, if he would have died as an infant, he would have been at rest. You know what I'm saying? Which is the spirit world. Job 3 and 13, check that out. You know what I'm saying? Job 3 and 17 says that we all cease from troubling. No, we all cease from troubling because we all go to the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? Also in Ecclesiastics 3 and verse 20, you can look at Ecclesiastics 3 and verse 20 and says all go to one place. You know, all go to one place. There's no heaven on one side and hell on one side. Look, whether you wicked or whether you righteous, all go to one place, which is the spirit world. That's Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. We all go to one place, you know, after we cease, you know, this physical existence. We all go to one place to receive judgment. The Most High judges you in the heavenly courts, you know, and then, you know, the trial take place in the heavenly courts, and then your sentence has to be meted out on the earth. So you basically have to come back on the earth in terms of reincarnation, you know, back in the flesh to play your judgment, to play your sentence out on the earth. You know what I'm saying? So you don't die and go to hell. Some people say that you committing suicide is an automatic ticket to hell. No, because we have King Saul that committed suicide in the Bible. You know, King Saul committed suicide. He fell upon his own sword. He killed his own self, dealing with that the Israelite battle between the Israelites and the Philistines. So King Saul committed suicide. He went to the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? So guys, yeah, man. I mean, I hope I have given enough to you guys so you can see by now that this is truly the devil that you're looking at. Bill Wizard. To next lesson, Shalom.